Welcome back to the channel. This is Roberto with Full Curl Precision. So before I get into tonight's topic, uh, just a reminder, anyone who's watching, if you haven't seen what I did recently, we just did a giveaway of a hat, a shirt, and an ammo organizer. We do custom 3D printed ammo organizers. So once we hit 200 subs, we'll be doing that again. Um, so if you're want something free, all you have to do is like and subscribe. That's it. It's very, very simple. And we pick 3 random people and then we just give away. So, yeah, it's very simple. We're trying to make this channel grow. And we do appreciate those who have been watching and participating and giving us positive feedback. So, yeah. So for tonight's topic, it is very, very simple, is the importance of consistency. Now, when I talk about this, it's mainly in terms of things like your bullet weights. Now, I have a little scale. We're going to measure some weights. And I've been kind of going back and forth with myself as whether or not I will use any Hornady bullets in terms of the reloading itself and then do any data. I'm not really entirely sure if I will, outside of maybe some 130 grainers. And the reason why I don't think I'm really interested in using any of the 145 grain ELDX for the 270 is because I don't feel that there's a need to fill in the gap of between the 140 and the 150s. Excuse me. So I have the 140 grain Sierra Game Changers, and I have the 150 grain Nosler AccuBond Long Range. I might do just for like load data for the guys who want to, but beyond that, I have no real intention of like hunting with it myself. So I have a few bullets that I've pulled out and we'll use them for demonstration purposes. But besides that, I've never been a big Hornady fan. I've never had any issue with them until this whole recent years with the whole lack of good information. So I have trust issues with them now. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and I'm gonna show you what I have, and we're gonna do some measuring and just kind of give some ideas of what you're looking for when it comes to reloading. How accurate do your bullets need to be in order to be consistent? So this is this particular scale is a Frankfurt Arsenal. It's nothing fancy. These aren't too expensive. They work really well. It's just a digital scale. You know, it just measures grain. So this is a 130 grain Hornady interlock. So it says 130 grain. If I set that there, it comes up as 130 on the money. So that's really good right there. I'll use that. And these I actually would use for hunting, the 130s. These are good. Basic cup and core. I use them for like whitetail, and that's what I pulled them out of, is the Hornady whitetail boxes. Here's some of the brass that I had. Some are expired, some are still alive primers. And so here's one that's off by just a smidge, right? So 129.9 grains. Now the question comes up, is that enough to really matter when you're loading and you're shooting and you're hunting? Not really. That is so minute of a difference. You'd have to be off by like half a grain, somewhere in that ballpark for it to start making a difference. Let's see if we have another one that's going to be like plus or minus a little bit more. So, we're going through and seeing how accurate. So that one is above a 130, so it's still not bad. So it's like, well, isn't that a big deal? You got 0.2 between 129.9 and 130.1? No, because there is no identical everything. Everything's within a tolerance. Construction, welding, everything's based upon a tolerance because there's no two identical things. So, here you go. Okay. It leveled itself out, 129.9. If it was like at 129.5 or 129.6, you want to start paying attention to that. So it's good to actually go through and weigh your projectiles to kind of get an idea how close you can be. So those are 5 of those. So now we will try. These are some of the 145 grain ELDX. Let's see how close these are. 145.1. 145 even. 145.3. Now that, if you're talking like long range application, like genuine long range application, that 145.3 is something you're going to want to pay attention to. The closer you can keep it to that consistent number of 145 or whatever the whole number as advertised is, the better it is. So let me pick this up and let me remeasure it. Maybe it's the way I set it down. Nope, it's the bullet. So this would be one of those times where, like I said, you're getting close. It's good to like set it off to the side by itself to kind of see if that would matter. And then here's the thing, you can do some load tests with the oddballs. 145.1. So that's good. And like I said, you really want to be as close to that as you can. Should you expect perfection every single time? No, otherwise you're going to get really, really expensive in your ammunition. 144.9. There you go. That's right there too. I'll do one more. 144.9. So the majority of these are going to be real close. And I'm not really picking on Hornady when it comes to that one that was 145.3. The fact is, every single manufacturer, especially take into consideration how much production these companies actually do. Is it fair to get mad at a company if you get the one rarity that's off a little bit? No, because again, you think about it. They when they make these, they do, as a matter of fact, go through and they do quality control. They weigh them, but the thing is, you're gonna get some. Excuse me. You're gonna get some that are gonna sneak past quality control. I don't care what company it is. Some are gonna be more strict in their quality control than others, but you're gonna get some that are gonna slip through. So if it happens, don't get all upset. It's okay. It happens with every company. It's just like it's like with automobiles, because I used to do mechanicking. If it runs, it breaks. I don't have this unrealistic expectation or faith in a company because they had a good reputation in the past. No, if it runs, it breaks. That's just the way it is. Now, how often it breaks, all those things, there's a number of factors. But as a general rule of thumb, when it comes to mechanics, if it runs, it's going to break. Period. There's no way around that. So, just get a drink of water. There we go. Anyway, so for these, here you go. These are the 140 grain Sierras. And I'm going to set that down there. 140 grain, so 139.9. $140 on the money. $139.9. So these are actually got some pretty good consistency. I've weighed these before, and 140 even. $140 even. Yeah. Sierra has a pretty good consistency, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I have had a dud or two in Sierra, but it's not all that often. So this is something I brought up before. Yeah, and I have the boxes over here because here's the 150 grain. Nosler AccuBond long range. And I'll do the same thing here. I'll bring out one. 150.2. If you're within 0.2 in either direction, you're okay. 150.2. So that doesn't bother me at all. 149.8. 150.1. 150.2. So here's the thing. Like I said, if you're within the 0.2, so from the original number, in this case with the Noslers, it's 150. If you're within 0.2 on either direction, you're going to be just fine. It's not enough for most shooters to worry about. Now, yes, the tighter your consistency is, the better your tunability is. And it really does come down to that. And so here's where I brought it up before. Will I hunt with a 145 grain ELDX? No. These Sierras are built a little better because they have a slightly thicker jacket than the ELDX. Even though it is a basic cup and core, these are considered a controlled expansion because they're heavier duty. The core is stronger, and the jacket is thicker. The BC on these, I believe, is 0.508 or 0.509. It's like right there. Those 145s are like a 0.536 or something like that. It's not enough for it to really matter. It really isn't. That difference in BC is insignificant. Where you get a larger jump is when you go from these 140s to these 150s. And the reason is because, again, here's your BC. Where did I put it? Right here. Here we go. 0.591. So the jump between this BC of only 5 grains from that ELDX is significantly higher. And if you look at that jacket construction, it's definitely controlled expansion, and it's designed to hold up. And these are bonded. So if you're really worried about it, then I would go with these. And if you don't mind, if you're not really wanting a bonded bullet or get these Noslers, go with the Sierras. You're going to have the same flight path out of a 270 with these 140s as you are with those 145s. And honestly, I think these are a better construction hunting bullet. They're also very consistent in what they do. So, yeah, that's why I'm going to have these. I have the 170s. I'm not really interested, like I said before, in running the 145s. I don't feel that there's really a need for it. I am going to try some of these 136 grain Terminal Ascents. And I'm only trying those because I had a couple boxes and I pulled out the head, pulled the bullets, and I'm going to try them out in a hand loading configuration. So, yeah. So when it comes to consistency, it's important to have a consistency in your bullet weight, because that translates into a tighter tolerance in terms of your groups and your velocities. Therefore, much more consistent in your performance at range. So that's all I have for tonight. Please like, subscribe, share, comment, and we'll talk to you again. Again, please like, subscribe, share, and let's make this channel grow. We appreciate all that you do. And yeah, we're starting to get some boxes out to some customers, and we're going to try to see what we can do to set up like a way to put on like a review. But yeah, we work our butts off to make a good quality ammo box. So Hopefully, you can go to the website, fullcurlprecision.com, and order some. We really do appreciate it. All right, we'll talk to you again.